fill in down below? I'll go down below.
Can some of you come down here to the front row?
Stop right there. Go first.
Yay!
Hi, everybody. This is great.
I know it now. You guys are gonna need to come tighter. I need like tight.
Okay, it's a super spreader moment. Everybody get close.
You guys, can you come down so I can have more?
Super spreaders.
Yeah, I need
Gotta stand between them two posts.
like the two posts. We need everybody in between.
Wow.
I think more people need to come down because
You're not going to block anybody.
You guys, if you want everybody
I'm just
to
going to
see,
put
you're
those
like
fingers up above your head. You know that guy?
down.
Oh, I was going to say 1, 2, 3. I hate those.
Only time
I always
it's never
blink.
gonna happen.
Anytime you hit 3, I blink.
I'm always down though.
Oh no, you can't say cheese?
Hey, almost.
Are
you gonna get in or get out?
I'm going to get it. Sit next to this beautiful woman over here. All right.
Okay, freedom.
Freedom.
One more.
Do a horizontal shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna do one horizontal.
Never works for I'm not
See all
well.
of you.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I don't feel like singing.
I heard that.
Wow. So many beautiful people.
Yay! Say cheese!
Do you want the other way?
The other way? This is my bad
The
humor.
literal people. The literal.
Bobby, you getting it?
I'm doing video right now, but I'm going to take a picture in a minute. Great lighting though. I love the light. Okay, now everybody put on your masks. Just kidding. Let's do this. Wait, let me. Okay, you want to video everybody? It's running.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, you got it.
It's on?
It's on. You see the red light going?
I do.
Thank you to everybody for coming to this awesome event, and for Roland, for Bobby, for his and I know a lot of people traveled far, and Suzette, thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you,
We can all breathe, right? Yeah.
Real people.
I don't have a whole lot to say except that I'm just super thrilled that we're all together, and I'm so grateful for Imani. And I just said to her, I don't even know how I found her, but you know, our paths crossed, and it was a hell yes. And now here we are meeting in person, and it just keeps getting richer and richer. And I just feel from my heart that I'm really glad that we're here together, and it'll be really awesome to see what comes from this.
Yay.
Yay! So, Imani, we're going to go around, and you want to...
What I'd like to do is
Yes.
welcome everyone. I didn't get to hug everyone yet, but I'm so glad to see all of you here. So if I didn't hug you yet, make sure you come over.
We could buy
Or hug again. But thank you for your hospitality and such an incredible embrace. It's been an incredible journey that I've been on since I left home January 13th. Didn't think I was going to be traveling this long. But it's really been guided by all of the synchronicity, all of this magic of this community. Some of you might not know what we've been doing through Brave New Life, but many of you have, and maybe some of you have seen the conversations we've been doing online through New Earth. So one thing I would like to do is pass around papers so that everyone can give their emails, so that I'll send out a follow-up email with everybody, so that the whole point is for you to stay connected. Mm-hmm. That's really the importance of what we're doing, is for all of us to meet face to face, remember our humanity, and see our smiles and feel the hugs. We've been so I think since I left, I'll probably, I don't know, with this group, I might have exceeded 100 people that I've been met on this journey through the conversations that we've had, which is pretty incredible. Actually, it's over that because there was 40 in Orange County, and then I stayed with people in San Diego. We had 15 in Santa Fe. There were 70 at the Unmasked meetup in Santa Fe. We had 15 at your place in Mora. We just had another 15 last night in, was that last night? No, the night before, Denver.
Yeah.
And now you all, and then we have one more in Chapel Hill before I go. So maybe, I don't know,
Couple hundred maybe.
maybe a lot.
Nice.
So yeah, that's so amazing.
It's
so
a start.
yeah, and where did I start?
No, I said it's a
Oh,
start.
it's a start. Yeah, it's a start. I was like,
That's the way it starts.
yeah,
100
for
million
sure.
to go.
Yeah, one by one, right?
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is just have everyone just share who you are. Now there's a lot in this room, so I kind of just open up so everyone will say where they are and kind of with the what we do with Brave New Life is sort of that syntropy and feeling-based relating. We won't have time for everyone to share because I know everyone wants to eat, but at least where you came from and anything that you want the group to know. And if there's any resources, you could put them on the paper, and then I'll add those in the follow-up email. So how does that sound? And then I'll add a little bit at the end of kind of the other things that have happened in the journey. So maybe, Grace, you want to start?
Sure.
Assuming everybody knows, but maybe not. And I'll go get that
So what's
paper.
our time frame? 2 minutes?
That would be a good. No, I'm serious. What is it?
Well, probably like there's 40
have 40
people, right? So 40
Okay.
a minute.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Okay, so I'm Grace, and I live in Burnsville, North Carolina. And I'm just going to say that I really firmly believe that we are on the positive timelines.
She gets another 40 seconds.
I'm Terry, and I also kind of feel that way. These are challenging times, but they've also have a lot of potential. So focusing on that part, and it's so great to see everyone here and feel your energy. So thank you.
Well, you all say where everyone's from because I'm local and
Oh,
we've been
so-
doing this for a while. Where are you from?
Oh, you're
I'm
welcome.
from Hendersonville.
Oh, good. Okay. Just know we got more people here.
I'm Katarina. I'm from Simpsonville, so Greenville area, South Carolina. Actually from Germany, but we now live here. We're super happy about it. Crazy restrictions in Germany going on right now. And I'm most excited to be here today and to meet you all and just love it. Thank you.
I'm Lynn. I'm also living in Greenville. Just moved there a month ago from Portugal, from California to Portugal to Greenville. So we're just excited as well to be in South Carolina. Things are open and everybody's smiling and out, and so we were kind of locked down for a while in Portugal. So I'm kind of glad to be here back.
And you guys got to meet and drive together. That was so
Yes.
Yes.
And they're 10 minutes apart. I gotta take a picture of you guys. Go ahead, keep going.
I'm Sparrow. I live in Shelton, Laurel in Madison County, out in the Hot Springs. I'm a therapist in Chinese medicine, and I work with furniture and wood, and just praying for a brighter future, calling in the love and the peace and an end to the tyranny and all the atrocities that we've all been witnessing for a long, long time. And I guess this is a great opportunity to address all that in a huge way. So, you know, I'm a patriot, and you know, I have Jewish ancestry and relatives that died in the Holocaust, and it's an intense time, but it's also an amazing time to be alive.
Oh.
I'm Jim, live down in Tryon, just on the hill. And I can say that I think the best thing we can do is find community, find like-minded people, and share the ideas that we know are correct. Everything, well, everybody has a different opinion, of course.
We know.
True.
We know.
Yeah, just share.
I'm John. I live on my sailboat, which currently is docked or anchored. Actually, I live in Anchor, and I'm down in a great free state of Florida.
Nice.
So it's a good place to be.
I was hoping you didn't bring it up the driveway.
I'm up in the mountains to visit this lady here, who we've known for a long time, and didn't know this was happening when she told me. It's like, oh man, yes, yes. I live alone. I am so isolated. I mean, social isolation was my natural day. Before the pandemic, I socially isolate as my lifestyle. Living on a boat out at everything. So I need this. Everybody needs this. The community get together, shut that TV off. Let's get it together.
My name's Kathleen. I live in Hendersonville here. I have been affected by
Yeah, I'll
the
just keep it
pandemic
going.
by
I'll
not
do it for a
being
while.
able to do my yoga classes. So that kind of sucks. Now they want us to teach with masks on. I ain't doing it. So I'm just basically thrilled to be here at this exciting time in the universe. This is really important, and we're so glad. So we're so lucky to be here for this.
Amen.
Well, my name is Suzette. I live in Hendersonville. On that note, today I read there's a weird cloud up in the sky. It's magnetic, and NASA even talked about it. And the pyramids are sending energy up to it. They can measure the energy going up to.
So you mean
to
this is a cloud that's new?
It's been around a few years apparently.
Wow.
So look that up. I shared it on my Facebook page if you're my friend, but that was pretty cool that NASA even acknowledged it. So.
We know something's going on.
Yeah,
that's
really
skip
over and come back because we've got some things that we want to share that we've been working on. So, and I'll pass this mail list going this way. The hot seat.
I'm Steven. I'm from Hendersonville, right? Kind of. So glad I found a few people. We were having a hard time for a while finding anyone that was on board with this stuff. So glad to be here. Yeah.
I'm Jennifer, and I live in Zirconia, south of Hendersonville. I have 3 acres and chickens, and I live a pretty boring lifestyle, which I love. Yeah, that, not, feeling like you're so isolated and you don't have, I'm sure everybody's lost people that they cared about and loved, and they're not talking to you anymore, and it's hard. So that's great to have you. Thank you for appearing and being here. Thank you.
I'm Christy, and I live in Hendersonville. We love our extended family and our animals. And I'm really glad to see everyone here tonight. I think it's going to be more important as the days pass that we can connect and help each other. We have big things ahead. We're going to need to support each other.
Yeah, I'm Phil. She's my better half. I've lost almost all my friends over everything that's going on. You just can't, there's no communication to it. So it's really nice to get together with people that have an understanding of and are willing to face up to what's going on.
Hi, I'm Kimberly, and I am from Lake Lure, North Carolina, but I abandoned ship of Denver, Colorado about 4 years ago because there was way too many people there. So I live by myself on a little farm with a cat, and I am so happy to have found my tribe.
I'm Kathy. I live in Weaverville, just north of Asheville, and I'm just so darn grateful that I found Zasha Stone and Imani last spring, because it just provided an incredible anchor for me over this past year. And, I am surrounded by people who don't want to change their minds about things, and so I just keep sharing all the truth that I hear and stay anchored with you guys and the other doors that have opened for me. And like I said, I'm just so darn grateful.
I'm Sarah. I'm from Greensboro, which is about 3 hours from here.
Greensboro.
Yeah. It used to be.
I know Greensboro.
Getting better.
It's a joke, family joke.
I used to say it too. And I'm just very grateful to be here. I'm grateful for the Brave New Life community. And I think that probably the best thing I could say in a song, which is really short. So I'm gonna offer it. It's a song probably a lot of you know, called Nature Boy. One of my favorites. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far, over land and sea, a little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way. And though we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
Hi, my name's Kathy, and I just moved here from Fort Collins, Colorado a few months ago, here to Hendersonville, just down the road. And I've been working the land for the last 45 plus years, so had a great adventure with the mother. And I think the part for me is that I've gotten to know myself a lot more through all of this. Who I am, where I want to go as myself, and thanks to all the things that you guys are doing, that's helped me find and explore all of that stuff. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to make the changes that are coming from within, amongst all of the stormy stuff out there and within family. So.
Kathy is a kick-ass activist. Yes.
I like to keep busy, I guess. The land is asleep right now, so I decided I could be a little bit awake from some stuff. So, thank you.
My name is Sandy, and this guy and I are together, and we live in the middle of nowhere. Kind of our address says Marshall, but we're out there with the cows and 5 dogs. But so we're retired, but we're not, because we have a full-time job, which is listening to all the podcasts and all the and you just name one, and I guarantee you we know them. We feel like they're our friends in our tribe. So it's wonderful to be in a group like this and have support, and we can be normal. I mean, I still see some friends that are, and they're so afraid, and they won't go anywhere, and so it's really heartbreaking. So anyway, I'm very grateful to this movement, to everyone here, to the support that we're giving to the entire world for we can keep up. In the future we're going to have, which is going to be amazing.
Amen. So I was going to say, oh pirates, yes say Rabbi, take I from the merchant ship. Oh, minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. My hands were made strong by the Lord the Almighty. We flowered in this generation triumphantly. Oh, help to make you sing these songs of freedom, because all I ever heard, redemption song. So inside of that, he's saying a lot of things, but I think that we are the redemption, and we have to stand up and not let anything slide anymore, because I was there when Vietnam went down, and Jane Fonda was one of the few people that stood up, and not that everybody has to agree with that, but she actually had the nuts to say something. And it took all that time. Now, my dad was 82 when he finally said, "You're right." And if you know what Vietnam was, from JFK to COVID, they have been twisting it down, and this is our stand right now.
Thank you. Amen.
That's happening.
What your name and where you're from?
I live in Swannanoa, but I come from New York and Canada, so I'm a real hick. There's make-believe hick, so I'm a real hick. And I bought property in Swannanoa in 2001 at the second to last recession. This is my fourth recession. So, yeah, it's my fourth time that in 2008, they destroyed unbelievable numbers of families and unbelievable numbers of businesses, and they walked away from it and danced and frivolity, and it's just, we have got to bring them to justice. Justice, I mean, it's like, in 2001, I mean, there's no justice, and I was born in 59, and
You're young.
I saw what happened with the black, my two oldest brothers, Vietnam, and they both missed the axe. One with polio, and one just his draft card come up high. But my dad, it took until he's 82 before he admitted it. It's a goddamn lie. It was a lie, and it destroyed, thousands of people.
This is Tim Martin, by the way.
Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
That's me.
My name's David, and we're from Marshall, and I am feeling, and have been for a long time, incredibly blessed to be incarnate in these times. I think we are quivering on the brink of an emergence from slavery that humanity has never seen, such an emergence. I'm trusting the plan. I'm feeling really positive about this, about the timeline that we're moving into. So yeah, I'm just feeling really blessed at this point. I'm really, especially blessed to be amongst all of you guys.
Oh.
I'm Sarah. I also live in Marshall. No relation, anything. Moved to this area a year and a half ago and found it hard to connect in and make friends, and since May I've made so many friends.
Oh, that's so great.
Locally and also worldwide, I guess. It's been amazing and transformational, like just connecting with people that I'm truly in alignment with, and not even knowing before that would happen, that my old friends that I've moved away from, I don't really talk to anymore, because most of them are not in the same place as I am, and really surprised by that. Really surprised by a lot of it. Healers that I know that are getting vaccinated.
We all know.
So I'm just really blessed that I had I'm just blessed that I am who I am, and I've always questioned everything, and continue to do so.
My name is Grace, and I live in Fletcher. I'm just about 5 minutes away. And I guess the main thing I want to say is it's wonderful to see so many people, and the energies are so positive and happy during this time. And I guess it's that phrase that I've heard running around. I guess we are what we've been waiting for. And I think, and when I see people here, I see that it's true. Thanks, everyone.
My name is Roberta. I introduced myself to Imani as Prunella, so we want to get that
straight was just another name. I'm a musician. I live in Black Mountain. And I feel like if it weren't for Imani and Sasha, I don't know how I would have gotten through this year. I cannot thank you. This was, I've always considered myself very adventurous in terms of exploring consciousness, and have done it so much in my music and in my life with my friends, but this is a whole other level. This is just, it's you know, blown away every aspect of what I thought reality was. And every day, every night, I'm asking myself, are you strong enough to go through this? Because a big part of me just wants to leave. You know, and not in any kind of morbid sense, but just feeling like I don't want to live anymore. You know, if I'm going to feel this much pain interacting with people that have been close to me all my life. And the other piece is that I'm learning that I don't have to save anybody. And that's been very hard for me because I've been a savior all my life in my family, conditioned since I was a child. Parents went through the Holocaust, so it's like I was going to be the one that was going to redeem them. And learning how to self-redeem is just, I keep calling things lately the school of love. It's like we're all in the school. As I'm talking, I'm just getting chills through my whole body because this is what I've been waiting for, to sit with a group of people like all of you and to just feel like I don't even have to think about what I'm going to say because whatever I say will be fine. And I love you all. I don't know who you are.
Your family of life.
Come and visit me in my dreams.
We love you too.
Thank you.
I'm Gavin, Guyan, Gawain, any number of other names. Poet, songwriter, playwright, and I have a tea plantation. Originally from Asheville, many years in Hollywood, really did Hollywood. Many years on Maui, and now I'm in Black Mountain and pretty much loving being back. But I'm really excited to explore, as settled as I am on my farm, I'm really excited about exploring the possibilities of some community living situations. And I just saw my first white squirrel.
Oh.
That just trumps everything. So thank you for that. And very happy to be here. Very grateful.
I'm Kim, and I am like, don't cut me off. You have something to say?
Oh.
No, we know each other, luckily. So, thankfully, I live like 2 minutes down the road, but I was lucky enough to meet Bobby because, you know, I just can't put a mask on. I don't own a mask. We've had the police called on us. You know, we've taken our girls to get their ears pierced and had the police called. They came, you know, so it's just been this whole thing. And I was at the post office one day and I saw Bobby and he didn't have a mask and it was just like, oh, there's someone, you know, we've all felt that if we're at the grocery store and we're like, oh, where's someone without a mask? Oh, you know, you just kind of want to like team up with someone and like buddy up with them because you feel so isolated. So he was there and we were like, he said, I'm not going to acquiesce as David Icke. And we just started sharing. I was like, yeah, and Corbett and this and then, you know, the whole thing. And so we've been having these meetings and at our house down the road, we have a small, my husband is from Germany. He's hopefully coming. But we have a small homestead down the road, we have children, and that's been the hardest thing for us.
Oh, I know.
Are the children that
to school.
I see the kids with the mask, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I just think, you know, like we all think you're suffocating.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, the kids are just, you know, the oldest one didn't want to go out anymore because she's tired of seeing mommy get yelled at.
Yep.
But you know, my husband and I just said we got to stand up for what we believe in, and hopefully they get a little bit of that, and you know, we teach them about community. I'm sorry.
And don't grow up to vote for Biden.
Right.
So many of our kids.
So, and we're pretty blessed to be in Hendersonville. We knew something was going to happen years ago.
And so we knew we needed to get back on the land. We had some property in Florida, but we wanted to be up in Carolina with us. We wanted water. So we have spring water. Any chance, you know, we will definitely offer you spring water. So, yeah, that's, and then I was lucky enough when I met Bobby that he knows Grace and all these others, Suzette and Laura and all these other people. And so we're pretty blessed to be in this community.
Yeah. Bobby, can you
I have a question. I know it may be intrusive, but several of you have come from some kind of distance to get here. I'm interested in, did you come because there are other support groups in the places you're coming from, or just that you access this one in spite of the fact that you have local support?
I might address that once we finish with the introductions, and because we're going to talk a little bit about the communities that are kind of budding out of all this activity and why people are, why and how they're finding each other. Because I think you guys have a hub here, obviously, of what you're doing, which is awesome.
This is a very small portion of it.
Yeah, but there's definitely some activity here, and you guys found each other and there's support. And there's some places where there's nothing, so I think people are coming big distances to get support. I mean, we've had people, we drove 5 hours today. I came far. We came from New Mexico, but previous to that. So, but we had people coming 5 hours to meet us in Mora. So people are hungry for this kind of nourishment.
Yes.
And for this kind of connection. This is the power of humanity right here in this room. But Bobby, I'd love for you to share, and then we'll share a little bit, kind of close this up, and then everybody can eat.
Is that still going? Or do you
It's still going. Do you want it still going?
Well, it stops at 30. So
Oh, okay. You
just have to hit the red
Start
button.
talking.
You have less than a minute.
Okay, so my name is Bobby Rowland, and this is my home in Hendersonville. And like Kim said, it was kind of humble beginnings, how we would just kind of attach to each other. And my circle of friends that I knew from some of the churches around even, and whatnot, just seemed to come together. It's amazing that we're all losing at least 50% of our friends over this. And that really affects me more than anything else. I mean, people that I really love, I can't even talk to them anymore. It's like deer in the headlights and what am I trying to say? They're gonna mass murder so many people on the planet and enslave the rest of us. Does that concern you a little bit? And it's... Yeah, that's right.
You're fine.
I'll take care of it. Yeah, bro.
Take two.
Yeah, so...
this one maybe?
That's not a button there.
Is the numbers going?
Yep, it's
Yes.
recording. You're good.
Are you on me or are you...
I'm on you.
Amelia and I. Well, about me, I'm a professional pianist. I played in Palm Beach for many years. I'm also a videographer that worked with the Burt Reynolds Film Institute. And now I own White Squirrel Cabins, which is this whole thing here, Airbnb, which has been good to me, I have to say. And but I am more concerned, like all of us are watching these videos and reading articles. I'm hooked up with Mark Crispin Miller in New York. He's an NYU professor of media studies and propaganda. He's been our greatest source of information.
Wow.
So that's why I'm saying this. And I would ask everyone to give me their emails, or I'll get them. And I'll send you one page with Robert Kennedy talking to 2 million Germans in the street saying, we know it's a hoax. You know, and 640 doctors in Madrid, Spain, representing tens of thousands of doctors throughout Europe saying, we know it's a hoax. So it's our job, I think, as like a French underground kind of thing, to wake up that bulk of the middle of the people. And Imani is one of the leaders with Sasha Stone and her movement. And we're very honored that you have come here to our humble little Hendersonville group.
Yes.
And but what we do here is we get together and we just, everybody's on fire. So we have so much to say because saving humanity, I mean, it's a little job, you know. and so we just chat a lot and we try and organize things like Kim said, who's got the water? Who's got the ham radios? What if the energy goes out? Are we ready? And I think that we all need to think about that, you know, is what would we do tomorrow when they forget taking away the toilet paper, take away the food, you know?
Yeah.
So these are major concerns. And I want to say one more thing about losing friends. I've gained so many friends that can logically think, like George Carlin would say, right? I can think, you know, and I'm just so disappointed, and so many others have been brainwashed, the power of the brainwashing, that they just refuse to see beyond the masks. And I did bring the rubber chicken here, so if we have time, we'll do a little filming where you wear the rubber chicken on your head, because that's Fauci's next command, that everybody has to do that.
Oh my goodness. With the triple mask?
Yeah. No, Fauci says you can take the mask down and wear it by the bottom of your chin now, as long as you have the chicken on your head. And so we can do improv on that one. And I think that kind of stuff will go viral, because, you know, we need a little bit of ridicule and laughter here.
Yes.
You know, make things happen, to wake people up, you know. So
Thank you for
all.
hosting tonight.
Yes, thank you. Is it okay if I introduce? Sorry, so I don't want to tape myself in my face, but
I was wondering. I didn't think I heard your voice.
Oh, come on, selfie it up.
You want to film?
So, my name is Jennifer Porter, and I drove not quite as far as you. Yes, I need to connect with you. I drove here from Mooresville, and I know, and I have that humongous van that, you know. Okay. I had to drive that here, but anyhow, the Brave New Life community has been a lifeline for me. I've been extremely isolated. Nobody in my family, you know, my husband, my kids who are older. My oldest is 25, my youngest, I have 4. Their youngest is 18. Mom is the crazy person.
Oh, God.
And, you know, yeah. So, and it's been really hard on relationships. So, the community calls have been my lifeline. Like you know, my lifeline to sanity. Yeah, and most of the time I have my camera off because I'm usually crying. So I'm extremely emotional.
Wait, let me get a close-up for that.
But I will drive, I don't care how long, I will drive a week to meet with people. So, you know, just 2.5 hours is nothing. And then I get to think and, you know, look at the awesome scenery. So, and I love the mountains. I grew up in Virginia near the Blue Ridge Mountains, so I like the mountains. Anyhow, there was more I wanted to say, but oh yes. So I've always been someone who, you reminded me, who thinks, who doesn't take things at face value, who wants to know why, right? And people are just not asking why, you know, and looking behind the commands, and looking at the science. I mean, hello. But everything that I present to my family and people that I know, they present something that, well, so-and-so said, or,
Fact check.
you know, this has been isolated. Yeah.
The Washington Post says.
Yes. So, but part of my thing, which I think everybody here knows, that you use to make decisions is your intuition, you know, your gut. And I don't know, people just have lost that connection. And so I am at the point now where I need to do something. I am going crazy. I quit my job. I'm an artist, a metal artist, but and I have my own business, but it's on the back burner. I took a cashier job at Whole Foods to pay for my studio equipment, and but I ended up quitting less than a month ago because I couldn't stand wearing the mask anymore, and I was worried about what I was doing to my health, but also I couldn't stand to see women coming in with babies in the sling with masks on the infants.
Oh my God. Yeah.
On the infants, and I lean in and I tell them, because, you know, I can't say this on the record. I'm like, you know, the babies really don't, we don't require the babies to wear masks. And I just get
Visceral reaction.
Yeah, visceral reaction that, well, my baby needs to be protected. And I mean the insanity. So anyhow, I made a statement by quitting my job because I couldn't do it anymore. And yeah, so I'm at the point now, though, what I was going to say was I need to put my energy toward doing things. So I was hoping that here I would, first of all, be able to make connections because
I got a whole garden if you want to come and garden.
I might take you.
You can come plant stuff.
Yeah, you can park your van in my yard here and live here.
Yeah, I'm the one with that humongous fan out there. Did I say that already? Anyhow, so I want to make connections so that I can, you know, do stuff. I'm an extremely good writer, an editor, grammar, vocabulary, that's my thing. So, well, metalsmithing too, but that's my art. Anyhow, that's me. Thank you very much.
And through Brave New Life, we discovered that our kids sailed at the same.
Oh, is that you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even put that together.
And now you know you can carpool.
Yes.
Yes. We live right down the street from the sailing club. Okay, we were talking on the chat. I didn't even know. Okay.
I love it. I love it. This is, wow. So I wanted to just have Christina introduce herself. So it's just incredible because I've met all of you through our Brave New Life conversations. And the deep connections. I went into Tulum with my girls, some of you may have seen in January, and then I decided to go over to the Greater Reset, you know, on the other coast. And there were several people that joined me, Lee Dundas and her family, and then some of you know Lori, the attorney from New York. She's on quite a bit, so you can't quite miss her. They're still down in Mexico. And then Christina and her partner decided to just leave Tulum. They were also in Tulum and head that way. And so I get this message like, I'm coming. You know, I think I was saying with them like, and we had some email communications, but we had like at least 10 days there, and just so much magic has unfolded with all of these adventures of one of the things that, and then of course I was talking to Paul from what some of you might have heard him share on the community conversations, and he'll share, you know, himself, but the connections and the people that are growing community, whether you guys are growing food or both of them building the actual buildings. And then on this trip, I've met so many people with land or just purchased land or looking at land. So there's so much within our community, so many resources, so many skills. That's what's impressing me the most as I go out, that these are people that, like in Santa Fe, you had all those grandmothers that have been holding it down, lighting the grid for like 20, 30 years, like hardcore, just solo, like just doing it. And so this is the time where we're all coming together. We are reuniting the tribe. We're finding each other. And, you know, I've mentioned it before, and I'll just speak to that because we've actually been, as we've been going along in the Brave New Life community and with Reclaim Your Lives, I've been meeting with all the people that you see on all those lives. And so the friendships and connections, and I say they all knew each other, but we've been having a weekly mastermind since we did Line in the Sand. So that was a couple of months ago, right? So every week I meet with Christian Northrup and Pam Popper and Tenpenny and David Martin and Renette, and there's a whole list. Now we've just had Simone Gold coming on. We have, you know, Tar on, and there's this whole group that's working behind the scenes. But what's so amazing is what you said is like, they're like, I have more friends now than I had before. Like Christian Northrup is like, I always wanted a group like this. Like, you always wanted a group like this. So I just want all of you to know that what we're doing here is happening in so many different levels. There's so much going on behind the scenes. There's so much just amazing things that are in the works. And this is the energy that's kind of feeding all that. And so I send them the pictures. You know, I sent Pam Popper the 70 people in Unmasked Santa Fe saying, look what's happening. You know, because they need that nourishment too. You know, the moments that you have, you know, on a daily basis are things that we're all dealing with, you know. And so when we keep staying vigilant and staying strong and showing up for each other, it's so, so important. So I was just so grateful that you trekked all the way across and found us, and we had this magical connection. So I want you to share, because she's our hostess that kind of brought me with Grace to North Carolina, because we'll be in Chapel Hill, and drove us today. And so tell them about yourself.
I'm happy to see all the folks that I was keyboarding with.
Yes.
It's always, you know, and then also the people that I see on Zoom screens live and in person. And what's coming up for me actually in the moment is, my God, like,
Fun.
I'm so used to touching people through my business. And I realized like it was a big escape valve for me to come to Mexico, and I needed my pores literally to be blessed by the sun and the energy. I needed literally, I mean, it's everywhere where we are, no matter what. But there was a kind of a level of that just, it was almost like slingshotted me into Mexico. And then once I got there and once I was out of the field of Chapel Hill, it like has its own frequency right now of like consciousness, and we're feeling it globally. Like I'm feeling it. I know we've all expressed it, but really, the permission that I granted myself to not actually have to push against the tide or like I think you said, Bobby tried to like wake people up or what, you know, whatever it was, but I could really return back to an intrinsic knowingness, a knowingness, and a curiosity even in the moment, every moment, like, where do I want to take my body in this moment? Oh, I want to walk down to the sand, right? And just returning to that, and that is really, I think, what guided me across to the greater reset, because there was a precipice moment for me where it was January 24th, 3rd, and it was like the TikTok nasal swab where you can't get back into the United States moment, right? And to take that leap and to go on to the greater reset was basically to just, for me to surrender and say, I have no idea how I'm going to get back into the United States, but I am not taking the test. I'm positive about that, and I'm headed to the greater reset. And connecting with Imani was part of that energy of just like, okay, I'm going to live without fear. I'm going to go forward in this way that is responsive to the call that I'm feeling. And answering my own call, literally, right? Hello, your life is calling. Oh, okay, great. I'm going to show up for that. And to find, then in that moment, to find this beautiful reuniting with that energy that was coming through Zoom, that energy, that nourishment that was coming through that way, but to physicalize it and to, you know, to allow that just to sink into this sort of cellularness of physicality in this way and communion in this way. Really grateful. So I didn't say, I don't know what I said much about, but
well, the thing that you just said though, it's amazing what we've done through Zoom screens.
Yeah.
I have to say, I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. But there is this aspect of coming together and the physical connection and everyone connecting, and then this growing, you know, this mycelium web continuing to spread. So I think that experience, and we had an incredible experience of, you know, building these dreams around community, and actually have land that we're going back, and there'll be an email coming out in a couple of weeks kind of recapping my journey and all the different pieces of land and people that have land and resources that want to, like I know you shared, you have 3 acres, you shared that you're looking for a couple families, so everybody's kind of pouring all of this into me, and I know my role is just to connect the dots and, you know, connect the people. So I feel like I'm becoming a matchmaker between the community, the pieces of land and the people and where people want to go. And that's sort of what's going to evolve out of this, is some kind of, I don't know, database. And so it makes sense that you, having your experience with the architecture, the Vastu things, so mention that, because I want to then pass to like the connection that we're all deciding to start a business and move to Texas now. That just happened yesterday.
Exactly. Once you open the floodgate, it's just all, yeah.
It's like 1 week with her in Mexico, 1 week him in New Mexico, and we're all moving in together now.
And like walking into present moment, where it's just sort of the little vortex where we ended up meeting, which was the place that people were staying. But walking in there, I kind of returned to a part of myself as a builder. I had kind of not looked at that. So I study a Vedic science. Many people know Ayurveda, right? Many people know Sanskrit and the sutras and the mantras and mandalas, etc. There's a whole building science also in temple building that's thousands of years old, has its own sacred texts, like has its own practices. And that's what I spent many, many years doing, but had not yet, in a bigger, grander, more conscious way, decided, wow, now it's time for me to show up and bring that in a small way, into humanity.
And the guy that built the place that we're staying is also a similar builder, so Gustavo and Christina, like, you know, and then there's
It was like meeting my twin brother. It was the strangest thing. He was using all the same language as the language we use in the Vedic science, and you can't make this stuff up. It just happens, and I guess that's mainly what I just, for me, I want to encourage everybody to just totally trust, even that word, like, you know, that we are finding each other, and we don't have to like effort. Right? So I think that's part of the new paradigm. For me, I'm learning I don't have to effort in this. It's just magically happening. So I'm.
This was in Mexico?
Mexico. Yeah, we were in Trancones, not far from Ixtapa, where the Greater Reset. Well, we didn't really go to the Greater Reset. We just hung out.
Yeah, we were doing the Greater Reset.
We were just we were living. We were there. They're doing Syntropy right now. You guys all hear Simon. I'm so centropically moving through, navigating through this. Totally. That's what I realized. It's like, this is Syntropy. Yeah. This is Syntropy. So
another angle.
So from there, we went to California to the event, and then I came to
We walked over the border. That's the payoff in the story, is that I never had to take a test.
Well,
I met Imani, and it was right. We knew.
I was making it. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, Tijuana.
I've been going there. I told you, I said, come on, come over.
Yes,
We're gonna just
Tijuana
walk on the border.
Just walking right over.
And it was
you know,
okay.
Lee.
Yeah, there's no problem.
No problem. It's like a flood of humanity.
I mean, I've been doing that for 20 years every year, but I'm glad to know that.
There's no airports coming back in from out of the country.
So see, we're like abandoning fear of
It's the AA meeting over here. Food too. Oh, I know.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. We're going to be doing what I think we're doing is imprinting this template of how we're going to rebirth this new earth. But so I went from California to New Mexico. We had connected.
Hey, baby.
We talked about this idea of this community in Mora and come seeing these tent things. So these tent things.
I'm the hemp guy.
Well, and one thing I studied was my driver, so I'm now calling it a hemp architect. I was like, oh, and secretary, like Christina. So great, good job. Speaking of secretary. Oh.
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm originally from England, but I've been, I think since 2002. I just got married with a bunch of kids. Or divorced, went overseas, worked overseas in the corporate world of architecture in lots of places, travelled over 30 countries in the last 10 years, working for presidents and stuff like that, building VIP residences and massive hotels. Didn't be just Cairo or the Ritz-Carlton in Kazakhstan, and goes on and on and on, and saw like the underbelly of corruption and all of that goes on in that reality of these people who are elite, which they're not at all elite, they're stupid. Really, they're dumbass. Stupid, I've drank whiskey all day with president's sons and all they do is look at their phone and laugh at stuff. It's crazy. I had an awakening kind of thing in 2017. And then I just dropped out of the corporate world. One day I just left. And just guy in the country wasn't very happy about it. And I was his project manager for the company. And I went on a mission to follow my purpose of just what was coming up. And I was transitioning into community life and living off the land. Did a bunch of projects, Turkey and Africa and Russia, and traveled to some of the Anastasia communities and learned a lot of the mistakes that were happening. There's over 600 Anastasia communities in Russia. Not many of them are successful. And just saw the idealism that was happening around community life, and realizing that there's something we need to do to transform that failure into success. And you know, I created Haven Earth a while back, a couple of years ago, to try and illustrate, you know, how we can, some of the projects and these kind of things, and that, you know, we're not there yet. We're not in a position to kind of move to the land and sing Kumbaya and just think that everything's going to work out. That's a massive failing, and I've seen the, you know, distortion that's happened in places. So, you know, I got into hemp. We just finished filming a hemp project in California that's going to be on HGTV in a couple of months, in April. It's a documentary about building with hemp, and so I kind of went to New Mexico. I was drawn in New Mexico with amazing visions and synchronicity. It's been kind of unbelievable. I forgot, we had 4 kids. One of our 7-year-old committed suicide last August.
Oh, God.
In Taos, and you know, his younger brother now is on the edge. There's lots of, one of their friends committed suicide 2 years ago. It's just, you know, it's terrible what's happening with the youth. And for me, hemp is a really powerful tool that can capture their minds and their hearts for potential for the future, something that they can do and be involved in. And also because no one wants to farm anymore. There's nothing in it for people, there's no money in it. And I think hemp's a really amazing tool to kind of bring us back to the land. And then I connected with Brave New Life in just end of December. I was working with Oracle Girl, maybe some of you know her, had an amazing immersion in October which kicked my ass. And and then I've just been stepping more and more into my power, my purpose, to walk through my fear and really come to the table, because that's where we need to get to start, you know, working together. It's no one individual that's going to make this happen, as we know. So I'm ready to do my part, and connected with Imani and Sovereign and everyone in the communities, and you know, just I didn't, you know, necessarily feel comfortable about sharing, but I felt like that's really what we need to do. We need to step out of our comfort zone to really start shining the light for each other. And then we had, you know, Imani came, and we were, you know, I shared on that first call I was on, and Imani we connected afterwards and talked for a long time. And Imani's wonderful for helping people open up and share. And then I was going to go to Mexico, kind of thing, and I didn't do it because I'm kind of part of a small community that's happening in Mora, and kind of dedicating to getting to the land and feeding the animals and doing the day-to-day things that connect us with the earth. And then we had a gathering in Mora, and you know, I'm estranged from my family. We split a long time ago, so I've just been a support financially, but so we had this, and we had a little fire ceremony there, and Imani asked me to share my son's name so we could honour him, and I shared his name, and then someone in the group who came out of 12 people, she started crying, and I went to her and asked her, "You know my son?" So her son was in the house when it happened, my best friends. And this is someone in the Brave New Life community, you know, so just imagine how many people are around the world are in this community that we would connect. And just unbelievable synchronicities, and just giving me more and more faith in this invisible nature of life that's bringing us together to do the work. And I know that for a fact that this is going to transform into amazing things for us all, into a new paradigm, and just amazing to see all these people coming here. connecting.
So he didn't want to get on a
sharing
plane
their
to come to Mexico, but after he did an interview, how many people know Oracle Girl? So you guys, and
Stephen and
Stephen and Teresa are here in North Carolina, so we'll be meeting with them on Friday. And he did an interview with them last week on his, hemp work. And so somebody had called him, and Christina was teasing like, hey, you should come to North Carolina with Imani because the first hemp house was built here.
Yeah.
And they were like kind of talking about it, right? She was giving, and then after that interview he did, and I'll include the links and everything so you guys can see it. Someone messaged him, said, I'm looking to buy 300 acres in North Carolina. And I want you to
They're doing design and the master plan.
Oh. So then he's like, I think I'm coming to North Carolina. So we're doing, we'll be around tomorrow doing some luncheon and some other things, and then we're hitting the hot springs, and then we're gonna check out what you have going on. And I love it because I just find all these things along the way. And then we're meeting them on Friday before we go up to Chapel Hill. So and then he'll be looking at that land next week, which is where is that? Murphy. Yeah. So, and that's part of this Oracle Girl community that she's looking to put this land in a trust for this community. So but this is the kind of stuff that's happening. So there is a big piece around how we're going to be doing this. The one thing that I know that's coming through is that we can't do it the way we've done it before. And so that's what we're figuring out. So there's pieces of land, but there's ways that we're going to have to work at it. It's not going to be, because like you said, and I don't know if anyone's read the Anastasia books, during the Cedar series, but like Paul said, there's so many communities that have not worked. And this is the time where we take everything down to the ground and completely deconstruct, and however we rebirth this, it can't be anything of the previous paradigm, right? Like the old paradigm. So this is the work that we're doing, and so the invitation to come, I'm getting that I will be traveling around more, kind of activating and connecting people. But when we come out to Mexico, it's really about doing this immersion to imprint. It doesn't mean everybody has to move to Mexico. It means that we come together and we imprint what's possible, these infinite possibilities that we have, and then we take that out into our communities like seed bombs, and we just go everywhere and start growing this new earth from the ground up. So that's really what is presenting itself to me. Like, this was kind of spontaneous. It's just like, add another week. My kids are like, are you coming home? I'm like, I'll be home by my daughter's 18th birthday. I've like literally pushed it to the day before I was supposed to be home, 3 weeks ago or something. But this is what, I'm feeling called that we need more than anything. So I'm just so grateful for all of you for tuning in to the conversations, to showing up. That's the most important thing, for sharing your hearts, even if you're not, if you're behind the scenes crying, we feel all of you, and the connections that are coming out of this is so profound for us all. It's nourishing for everyone all around. Like Sovereign says, this is not. She's like, what am I forgetting to do? Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah. That's Chris. I thought Christina was gonna introduce this lovely. Buddy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jayla. I'm Christina's son. I like to make music. I like to do graphic design. I like to go geocaching.
Oh, cool.
Do what? Geocaching. People hide things in forests, and then you go find them.
GPS.
GPS.
That's awesome.
Books
We don't
and
know
toys.
Yeah.
I'm here to listen with hope in my heart.
Nice. But he just shared a song with us today, and I would love for you, if it's possible, to pull it up and play it. I don't know what that is. And I might have the recording of his song. So there's 2 songs. I love the singing and the creativity. Is it possible for you to do that? No,
Maybe I saw a sound system, but I don't have an aux or a dongle.
So,
You do
but
it on your phone.
so maybe we get some food.
You just should have looked at my quality and
You just want to drop the link out. Yeah. Let's see if we can make it work. It was a beautiful, beautiful song.
appropriate cables.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby probably has.
Yeah, Bobby's
So we should see, and then we can see, because I would love to share your song as well that you sent me, and I can see if I can pull it up on my email. So we can maybe end with some song. But let's eat and connect, and yeah.